Hey, we are live once again. My name is Steve Jaguar. This is a Beer Native Beer Review. Kind of a wacky art, kind of a wacky concept. Let's get to it. Excellent. Let's go straight in. Hey, you know, craft beer naming has, yes, it's already gone over the top, but I still get impressed every now and then. And this time we have this little beauty. Zane lost his avocado bag. I do not understand it at all, but it has lots of pictures of avocados on it. It's by Refined Fool. What a surprise there. And it's a Brut IPA. Let's pivot it around. Take a quick look at what's on the back. 7.6% champagne like IPA is a pale but bubbly delight. But bubbly, dry, bubbly delight. So, foolishly good beer. Sarnia, Ontario, 7.6%. It's not calling itself a double IPA, although, albeit, it could probably get away with it in this instance. Certainly not triple. I sometimes think it should be over 8. In this case, I don't care. It's a Brut IPA, and that's super cool because what it means is Brut IPAs were, I don't remember who discovered or who decided on what to do with a Brut IPA, but the idea is when you buy bubbly, whatever bubbly you want, if it's Brut, it tends to be drier, right? So the idea here was somebody decided to make a triple IPA or a higher alcohol beer, but they didn't want any residual sweetness. So the first thing you do is you just choose a lot of really light malts. Like you might even use a bit of rice, light pale, extra pale malt, and then you don't want anything left. So there's an enzyme you can throw in there called amylase glucosidase. I like saying it because it rhymes. Say it with me. Amylase glucosidase. Not bad, right? Feels good. It fires up the yeast. I used to think Brut was all about the yeast, and it is, but I didn't know the bit about the enzymes. And then when I learned that, very cool. So you can just kickstart that thing and make sure that there's absolutely no sugar left over. So what are we expecting out of this? We are expecting dry, like not tissuey dry, but a really nice West Coast dry. The hops in here are reportedly, although they're not in the can. Come on, Refined Fool. Everyone loves to read hops on a can. Citra and Mosaic. So we're expecting something typically IPA-ish, really quite not dull, but just the power couple of IPAs, Citra and Mosaic, but with all the sugar absolutely sucked out of that by the yeast, amping it up to a 7.6 where it might have normally been maybe a 6 with a bit of sweetness. And hopefully good, because I really like dry things, I really like bitter things, and I like Citra and Mosaic. So I'm expecting this to be pretty badass. I'm going to pop it, and we're going to take a look simultaneously and learn a little bit more about Refined Fool. All right, let's pour this in the bag. Meantime, I'm going to switch views, and you can see it. Here's their website. I like big colors. It looks a little bit more like a sort of late 60s art style with bright colors. Take a look at that. Now let's get rid of that for a moment. It is super clear, like really clear. And it's almost like a lagery like froth on the top. That is appealing, right? That's a beer advertisement right there. And that head's not going away. Super lively. Beautiful little bubbles. Oh yeah, sorry, the Bendito is back. Say hi, Bendito. Hello. It smells like a super pale ale. It doesn't smell hoppy in the slightest, which is a little bit of a shot across the bow. I really wanted it to have a bit of fruitiness to it. I wanted to get that grapefruity Citra, that punchy, sometimes slightly dank Mosaic, but it really does smell a little bit like a lager right now. So I'm a little bit like, no, be good. Oh, the other reason I really like this beer and why I chose it, because I have my job, they call me an advocate. I'm an advocate for lots of geeky things like in cybersecurity and stuff. And the nickname for advocates tends to be avocado. So it's like there's a personal reference there. Let's sip this for a bit. All right, that's a resounding success in the dryness. I still think they use something different. Like the yeast choice is critical. It's got to react to the proteins to make it go. It's so clear. I think this is like a gateway IPA. If you've got people who don't say, I don't like Citra, I don't like Mosaic, they're too fruity, they're too whatever. West Coast IPAs are too bitter. I don't like that pininess right up my nose. I think this is a pretty good entry level IPA. It's kind of dry. There's a little bit. I don't think it's as dry as you would expect. I still think I'm getting a little bit of sweetness in there. It's kind of nice. It's a hot day. You can't tell it's 7.6, so it's a bit of a sleeper. Kick in the nether regions if you don't read the label. And I'm already drinking it too fast. I can tell you that right away. It's pretty nice. It reminds me, so this is a Canadian beer. I'm still in Toronto. I'm at the usual location around Yonge and Eglinton if you want to try to track me down. It's like, I don't want to say like an old school Creemore lager, or like, I'm going to go back 20 years. It doesn't taste like an IPA. It tastes like a brute. It's dry. I'm a tiny bit disappointed that I'm not detecting the traditional Citra and Mosaic in there. Maybe that was misread. Maybe it's not correct. Maybe the rumors aren't true. But it is nice and brute, and I do like that. And if you like champagne, you like that kind of brute champagne, I think you're probably going to like this beer. I don't think it's bad. I have that reaction when I feel like, I was expecting one thing and I didn't get it right. I shouldn't hold that against the beer. Going back to learning a little bit more about them, the selection of beers they have is outstanding. Like this is the shop, and they ship all over, I think all over the country, which is really weird. So I've had a few of these. The Cat Astronaut Session Hazy, faux show. I had the chocolate bar, the peanut butter chocolate stout, dry, but very good. And then Van Full of Weird Nose Juicy IPAs is top notch. I gotta love the name, right? Van Full of Weirdos, come on. And right next to it, there's Zane Lost His Avocado Bag. If we click through and try and see what they say about it. Light body, high carbonation, yep. Low hop bitterness, okay, then that's correct. So they didn't really bombard it with Citra and Mosaic. They just threw a little bit in there for good measure. Then it's accurate. Dry finish, champagne-like IPA is a delight. Well, I'll be the judge of that, but thank you. So it does fit the description on the website. So no misleading, just my own ridiculous hoping for something with a little bit more fruitiness. But hey, this is as intended, then it's as intended. It's pretty good. So you find yourself in the Toronto area, or the Sarnia area, I say go check out Refined Fool Brewing. They've got a great selection. If not, go check it out online. It's not expensive. I mean, certainly by UK standards, it seems like all beer in the Toronto area, or probably Ontario, is stupidly cheap. I don't know why. Whiskey is insanely priced. Wine, maybe 50% more than I get in the UK. But beer, for some reason, like half price. So if you're looking to come over to Toronto for beer tasting, or Ontario, I highly recommend it. You're going to be pleasantly surprised with the variations, the sheer number of breweries in the Toronto area, and just I go fill my basket at an LCBO, and I go to check out, and I convert to pounds, and I'm like, what? Really? Like, it should be so much more. So do check it out. I'm going to try and squeeze. I'm going back to the UK on this Thursday, the 7th. And so I'll be there for a week. Maybe I'll be able to squeeze something in. Kind of shutting everything down there. So I think I'll still be able to do it because I'll have the setup there ready to roll. Then I'm off to Amsterdam, where I will definitely get a review in. Then I'm over to San Francisco, where I will definitely get a review in. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment if you've ever had another Brute IPA, and follow me on my travels around the world, because after that, I'll be in Barcelona. Do you want to see some reviews from Barcelona? Do you want to see some great beers and great maybe craft beer bars I can do some Instagram on? Then follow me here. Follow me on Instagram. It's still Beer Native TV. Pretty easy to find. That's the end of this beer. This beer? No, still a bit of beer left. That's the end of this beer review. This is Zane Lost His Avocado Bag. Pretty messed up. Hopefully not my last one from Toronto for this particular instance, but we will wait and see what I have going on this week and whether I can squeeze it in. I'll try and do it. Leave a comment if you want to see one more. There we go. That's me trying to spark comments. Until then, my name is Steve Giguere. This has been another Beerinated Beer Review. I'm probably going to go on and give this about a 3.8 out of 5. I think it doesn't quite creep over 4, but that's the end. Steve out.